great weekend. So how many of you had a great weekend and were able to meet all kinds of different people? Awesome. And now how many of you are looking forward to a night of dancing and having fun after this long weekend? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we have one order of business left, and I get the privilege of presenting the keynote speaker tonight. Before I do, I want to tell you a little bit about this inspirational young man. So I'm going to put my glasses on so I can read this. Oh, no, wait a minute, maybe not.
No, Dana, I'll tell you, I got to tell you this. I just want everybody to know that our second place winner has agreed to donate another $1,800 for that second time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There you go.
That's
How's
awesome.
that? All right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. So without further ado, let me tell you a little bit about our keynote speaker. So this young man had aspirations of being a professional Olympic athlete. It wasn't a far stretch for him because he came from back-to-back generations of Division I athletes. So you can imagine how devastated he was when as a junior and a senior in high school, instead of getting stronger, he was getting weaker. When all of his friends were getting stronger, he was losing strength and didn't understand what was happening with him. He was finally diagnosed with Friedreich's ataxia. And so his dreams of becoming that professional athlete were really blown up. But that didn't kill his spirit, and he went on to do some pretty great things, being a mentor to other athletes and really keeping their motivation alive. To his credit, he is a keynote speaker. He is also a published author. He's a recording artist. He is a disabilities advocate. He's a podcaster, and he's a para-athlete. And he's a dad and a husband. And he says that the biggest achievements in his life is being a husband and being a father. I'm going to read to you one of his quotes before I bring him up. He came to the realization that we all suffer in life, and we have the choice to be overcome by what we can't control or make the most of what we can. So put your hands together and help me welcome Jacob Thompson.
Hello. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to thank Andrew and the amazing team at NAF for having me. I feel so humbled and honored to be here. There's so many amazing people in the room. So to be able to speak to you all is truly an honor. I don't take it lightly, and I want to share my story with you, not because I think that I'm special, but I hope that in sharing my story, you can find something to apply and take into your story as well. So I have Friedreich's ataxia. I was diagnosed when I was 24. But long before that, I was very active, and I like to run. And I would say I was pretty fast, okay? And so I was 18 years old, and my friends and I were in a car. Anyone ever been in a car and you don't know where you're going? You're just in the car for no reason? So we're in the car for no reason, and I got a brilliant idea. I was like, hey, I'm pretty fast. Let's stop at a red light and get out and run around the car. And so we said, great plan. But the minor detail is we would be in our birthday suits. So we pulled up to the red light and it was time to shine. I hopped out of the car in my Nike free runs, and that was it. And let me tell you, it was a free run. I was running free, and I was about halfway around the car, and a different car drove by on the perpendicular street, and I thought, great, we have an audience to mark the moment. And my feelings of excitement quickly turned into a pit in my stomach when red and blue sirens went off. And next thing I knew, I was at the police station being mugshotted and fingerprinted, and I had just turned 18, so legally I was an adult. And it was a rough start to my adult life, I will say. But I tell you that story because to this day it taught me a lesson. And that lesson is when you get into a car, but you don't know why you're in the car, you have no reason, therefore you have no destination, you can end up in a bad place. You can end up lost. You can end up somewhere that you don't want to be. That's what happened to me, at least. And this story is stuck with me because I believe we're all in a car ride of life. And if we don't think about why we're in the car of life and where we're going, we can end up lost and we can end up in a bad place. But when we understand our purpose, we can have a much better and more fulfilling life. And so I want you to hold that thought, and before I keep going, I want to introduce my family. My beautiful wife, Abigail, is with me. And that's our baby Sutton. He made the trip too. Our older two are 5 and about to be 4. They didn't make the trip because they're a little too rambunctious. So our oldest is named Titus and our middle is Griffin. And they were born 15 months apart. Now, anyone have an older brother? Just raise your hand, yep. So older brother, any of you are an older brother? Yes. So one job of the older brother is that they would toughen up the younger brother, right? And so Titus embraced that role. He made sure he would toughen Griffin up. And so Griffin, he would always have a plan. And so Griffin, as soon as he could crawl, he would get a plan. He wanted to crawl, prop himself up, and look around. That was his plan, and he would do it. He would crawl, climb up, and next thing you know, we're Minnesotans and we're Vikings fans. Titus would hit Griffin with like Adrian Peterson stiff arm and just knock him down. And Griffin would just cry and cry. And I would just watch this happen day in, day out. And it reminded me of a quote. And it's a quote from one of the most famous fighters, Mike Tyson. And he says, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. Everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face. And for me, that's been true in life too. So here is a picture of me growing up. And I played baseball, hockey, and football. But baseball might have been my best sport. And When I was 11 years old, my team won the World Series, or maybe it was the local city Little League Championship. Same thing, really. And my coach, he handed me the game ball after the game. We won, I got the game ball, and he pulled me aside and he said, you know, I think you could play pro baseball someday. And so maybe he knew what he was talking about, maybe not, but that became my plan. You know, that became my goal. And it wasn't later until my FA symptoms started to manifest that I realized we all have a plan until you get punched in the face. And life certainly throws punches at all of us. And when I think about life and I think about purpose, and that story I told you earlier, when I think about purpose and life, I think about this. So if you can't see, I think I'm on the screen too. This is a flashlight. And we would all agree that a flashlight has a purpose. And the purpose of a flashlight is obviously to be light in the dark. And I actually strongly think that you and I are just like this flashlight. That you and I are here on purpose and with the purpose to be a light in the dark world. And you don't have to have ataxia to understand that we live in a dark world. If you turn the news on or if you just experience the pain of life. And I believe you and I are here to make the world a little bit lighter. And that is the purpose that we all share. See, amen. Now, if you were to buy this flashlight and read the manual, it would tell you you need 2D batteries, okay? But I know some of you out there play Xbox, right? Some of you watch TV. Here's a AA battery. And you would say, hey, AA batteries are great. Shouldn't that work in the flashlight? You know, it works on my Xbox. And we could try, and because I have ataxia and I'll be slow, I won't do it. But we could try and fill this with AA batteries. Do you think it would work? No, it would not work, because that's not what it's made for. And what I found in my life when I was, you know, at the peak and of being my best at sports and being popular in school and all this stuff that I thought would fulfill me and make me happy, I found it was just AA batteries. It didn't work. And often in life we're trying to fill ourselves with whatever it is, and we're coming up empty, and I believe it's because we're aiming too small. And really we have a much bigger purpose, to be a light in the dark. And I think when I began to understand that and build my life around being light in the dark, the light turned on in my life. And I finally found that fulfillment. Even though I began losing my physical abilities, I began finding my purpose. And what I want to share with you today and the rest of my time are just 3 kind of keys that I found in my life that have brought me the most joy and fulfillment and purpose and resilience. Because whether you have ataxia or you don't, life throws storms at all of us. It throws storms, and this is why I say the first key is that you would build your foundation. So in Vegas, right, if you looked out of your window in the hotel, you see a lot of awesome buildings, yes? Now, buildings, the first thing you build is the foundation, and when the building is finished and you look at it, can you see the foundation? No, it's beneath the surface. But when a big storm would come and hit that building, what do you think matters more? Is it what you can see, or is it the foundation beneath the surface? And we could say scientifically it's the foundation. But I think this is true when you look at a person. You can see maybe how attractive they are, or how tall they are, or how much fame or money or status they have. But when the storms of life come and they hit a person, what matters more is something beneath the surface, something that you can't see. And so when it comes to foundation, I made this graphic about building your foundation on purpose, on why you're here and who you are, because those things can be taken from you. If my purpose is to be light in the dark, Ataxia can't take my purpose. No trial, no storm can take that, and you can always adapt the what and the how. Now, you may have figured out I like metaphors, I like illustrations, and so for me, it's not enough to say that, but I need to put it into practice. And so one day I was on the internet, on the social media, and I saw someone post that they were at paraclimbing nationals. And I thought, what the heck is that? So I got on my computer on Google and I'm like, paraclimbing, what is that? And I found out they have a USA team and they have national championships and World Cups every year. And so the next day I showed up at the climbing gym and said, let's see if I could do this and why. Because I don't know if you've ever tried playing baseball with ataxia. It does not go very well. And I can't, I loved baseball, hockey, football, tennis, you name it, I loved it, I played it, and I can't. I can't do it now. But I thought maybe I can rock climb. And the gentleman earlier, if you were here for the award ceremony, he talked about, yeah, you can't, there may be things you can do, but what can you do? So anyways, I showed up at the gym, and in climbing, anyone been rock climbing? Okay, a few of you guys. There's a rating system, so you can see how hard a route is. So the easiest in my gym is a 5.5, and then it goes up 5.6, 5.7, 5.8, all the way to 5.13 plus. So I said, hey, bring me to the easiest wall. And he brought me to a 5.5. And if you are seeing the picture, I made it. That's me at the top of the 5.5. And when thank you. So I thought, wow, cool, I actually can rock climb. But I got down from there, and I had to sit there for about half an hour before I could grip my phone and text my wife how am I gonna get home? I can't move. But then I began researching, like, hey, to be internationally competitive in a neuromuscular category, what do you have to climb? And I found 5'9" on the internet. And I was discouraged because I thought I barely made the 5'5". How am I ever gonna make a 5'9"? And I just kept coming back, and I tried a 5'6", and I failed, but I came back again, and eventually I got it. And then 5'7", and then 5'8". I have a picture here of my first 5'9" that I made it to the top of. And thank you. There have been a lot more since then that I don't photograph anymore, but it taught me something really important. And the next thing I want to share with you is to climb your route. And when I say climb your route, it's very intentional because your route is not my route. And because I have ataxia, I will fail trying to climb a wall and then watch a 7-year-old girl do it easily, but that's her route. My route, your route, we all have a different route. And I believe that we all have a wall to climb. And what I found is when you walk into the gym and you look at the top of the wall, that's where you want to be. You want to make it to the top. But I believe that in life we all have tops of walls that we want to make it to. I believe NAF has a clear top of the wall. A world without ataxia. That is the top of their wall. And so I want you to think about the top of your wall. Where do you want to get to somewhere in life? Personally, professionally, with advocacy, what's the top of the wall for you? And I just want to give you a few ideas about that. The best way to make sure you don't reach the top is to not try. If you just don't try, then for sure you won't reach it. So the first thing I would encourage you is to get on that wall and try it. And then the second thing I like, this catchphrase, I think I came up with it, is a big vision, small decision. Big vision, small decision. The top of that wall is a big vision. A world without ataxia, that is a big vision. But no matter how high the wall is, the only way to get there is one small move at a time. I've never seen anyone fly up the wall, right? No matter how big that vision is, you need to make small decisions every day to that vision. And then embrace the journey of it, because when you begin to climb, you are bound to fail. But if you keep coming back and just set one small goal a little higher and just try and reach that, and keep doing that, you will end up somewhere you never thought was possible. But that is hard, right? Because in life, we all have disappointments, we all have pain, we all have difficult things that have the ability to make us not want to climb, not want to keep trying, not keep hoping, and just kind of give up. And I want to share a quick story with you. If you know me, though I try and be healthy, I have an untamable sweet tooth. and that dessert at the table is evidence. Do you guys remember 2020 when the whole world shut down? Yeah. So I got COVID and my whole family quarantined at my parents' house. And my parents, they go to the nice grocery store and they had bought these mini cinnamon rolls. And I woke up, you know, and I saw them and I was like, oh boy, I have to have them. But not only am I gonna eat them, I'm gonna do it extra. So I'm gonna put them in the microwave and put butter on them and do the whole nine. And, you know, I put them in the microwave and for those 30 seconds, right, my anticipation is just building. I can't wait. And, you know, finally it dings, music to my ears, right? And I pull them out and put the butter on and I go to take a bite. And I'm like, what the heck? What? Like, I'm checking the label. Are they expired? Did they go to the cheap grocery store? Like, what happened? And then I realized I have COVID, right? So I can't taste. Well, later that day, I changed my son's poopy diaper. And I realized I can't smell. And I thought, hey, maybe this COVID thing is not so bad, right? And I don't mean that insensitively to people who have hard stories. So I want to say that gently. But later in the day, though, I really had to contemplate, is it worth smelling a poopy diaper to be able to taste a cinnamon roll? And I decided, yes, it's worth it. But the same abilities that we have to experience love and joy and hope and purpose come along with the ability to experience pain and suffering and heartbreak, of which I know and many of you know all too real what that's like. And you may want to close yourself off to keep hoping, keep believing, keep trying, keep climbing. But see, when we can't taste and smell, we're sick. It's a sickness. And my encouragement is don't let your heart get sick. Keep hoping, keep trusting, keep believing. And when you would take that mentality, you can begin, lastly, to turn obstacles into opportunities. So a few notes in my own life: having a disappointing athletic career has become an opportunity to speak to thousands of young athletes about purpose and about perseverance. Having a physical disability has become an opportunity to compete in para-athletics and try to make the Paralympics in 28. That's the goal. You know, dreaming of coaching my sons and playing catch and running and tackling, I can't do that the way I hoped. But that's become an opportunity for us to find new ways to spend time together. And even my wife and I feeling lonely in our experience as a family, dealing with a disability has become an opportunity for us to create the Handicap Fam, which is an account dedicated to celebrating families who are dealing with a disability. I believe nature also shows us what it means to be resilient. When I was in college, I responsibly emptied my bank account to get an engagement ring. But if you know about the process, diamonds are forged under great pressure, and gold is purified under extreme heat. And maybe life and the punches and the storms made you feel under pressure or under heat, but maybe you're being purified or formed into something beautiful. I'm not a great scientist, but I understand a caterpillar goes into a cocoon and it's dark and lonely. And maybe you feel you're in a dark and lonely place. But maybe if you don't give up, you're growing wings to come out on the other side as something beautiful. And even this pencil, somewhere in here, this pencil, you may not be able to see, maybe you can, it's not sharpened. And I believe you and I are just like this pencil, that you have a story to write, that you could solve so many problems. But what stands between this pencil and its purpose is a sharpener. And if you imagine, kids have never seen a number 2 pencil. But if you remember back in the day, you put it in the sharpener, you turn the thing, and I imagine that to be extremely uncomfortable, that there's pain, friction, and loss. And my encouragement to you is when you're experiencing pain and friction and loss, you remember you can't give up and you're being sharpened because you have a story to write. I am going to put a slide on the screen with the QR code that you can scan, and I would love for you to fill out a 1-minute survey, and then I'm actually going to send you a resource to basically take my message and apply it to your own life. So if you fill that out, and while you do, I'm going to tell you one last quick story. Jack, can you wave your hand or stand up for everyone? So you may have seen Jack and met Jack. He has a nonprofit, and they do trike giveaways. And getting a trike has been life-changing for me. And Jack had messaged me a while back and said, hey, I would love for you to create a song for my nonprofit. And you probably don't know I do make music and do poetry. And Jack and I found out, hey, we're both going to be here. So I got right to work and I made this song from the depths of my heart about living with FA. And you're going to see lyrics on the screen. And I'm going to perform this song for you all. And I hope you love it. And then I'll be done so that you can dance. But I'll be at a table out there. I would love to come connect with you. I'll have my book and some other fun things. So I'm going to grab this mic. They're going to turn off this. Check, check. Okay, so whenever I perform music, I need audience participation. So I'm going to say, keep moving forward, and then I'm going to point to you, and you're going to say, keep moving forward. And we're going to do it twice, and then we'll do that during the song. All right? Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Okay, hit it, Nick. I think they're ready. These are pictures of Jack's tour on his strike.
You had to fight, but you're a brave one. When times were hard, you never gave up. You threw your hands up, said, I don't know, Lord. He just told you to keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. You threw your hands up, said, I don't know, Lord. He just told you to keep moving forward.
Sometimes you wonder why you have to struggle. Feels like your hope is buried in the rubble, and you never meant to cause anybody trouble. But the way life is, it's like you have to. And the pain's on your heart like a tattoo. It won't go away. You've been looking at the clouds, waiting for a sunny day. Most of the time, the sky is gray. Just remember, the storm brings the rainbow, and light shines brighter in the dark. So just play this song and let your pain go. May these words heal your broken heart.
You had to fight, but you're a brave one. When times were hard, you never gave up. You threw your hands up, said, I don't know, Lord. He just told you to keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. You threw your hands up, said, I don't know, Lord. He just told you to keep moving forward.
It's never too late to take a step in the right direction. I know you and hope have a weak connection. Saying you need help is not a weak confession. We all need a hand to pick us up when we're feeling low. Where do you turn but nowhere else to go? You just fold your hands and lift your eyes up. And when you get knocked down, I know you rise up.
You had to fight, but you're a brave one. When times were hard, you never gave up. You threw your hands up, said, I don't know, Lord. He just told you to keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. You threw your hands up, said, I don't know, Lord. He just told you to keep moving forward.
One more time. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Thank you guys so much.